The mainstream media is a disgrace to journalism. Let's be completely honest. The Clinton News Network, or CNN, is so heavily biased towards Hillary Clinton that it is almost cringeworthy. It's embarrassing. They insult the American people's intelligence. Now, a lot of people think that Americans are stupid, and as a Canadian, I don't think that's true. Nobody is specifically stupid. But when it comes to mainstream media, they do such a good job. Not necessarily lying, well, sometimes they'll lie, but they'll alter the truth or misconstrue what is, well, true. Uh, when they take the super delegates of Hillary Clinton, they combine it with the pledged delegates. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, why is this not good? Realistically, what we need to be doing right now is comparing Hillary Clinton's pledged delegates to Bernie Sanders. The super delegates, you shouldn't really consider them. Yes, they are very important, but you need to realize is that when Bernie Sanders gets most of the pledged delegates, the super delegates are more than likely going to switch. Now, a lot of people say that they're going to stay loyal to Hillary Clinton, but that's not necessarily true. They can flip entirely. We've seen situations like that with Senator Obama. So it's not out of the realm of reality to see that happen again this time. So you shouldn't really be taking the super delegates and combining with the pledged delegates because, well, that will make the total delegate count like double Bernie Sanders, which is not very accurate. You should be focusing on just the pledged delegates, which at this point, Bernie Sanders is only behind by about 300 or so. And when he catches up ahead in California or the upcoming states, which will happen, or hopefully the FBI will hurry up and indict Hillary Clinton, then we could see a lot of things change. A lot of people think, well, the mainstream media, that's another thing. They think, oh, the legacy of Bernie Sanders. Oh, why Bernie Sanders needs to give up for for the good of the party. A lot of people are voting for Bernie Sanders not because they're Democratic loyalists. It's because they want that specific candidate to win. That is like if you want a specific sandwich from a restaurant and you don't get that sandwich, and people tell you, well, you should still get a sandwich from that restaurant. Sure, that's true, but don't you want that sandwich, though? Why settle for a minimum wage of $12 and 1 year of community college when you can get free college and free university and $15 minimum wage? I mean, it's not that hard of a situation. Do you want somebody who got pretty much peer pressured and voted for the Iraq War because everyone else wanted to vote for it? Or do you want somebody who led the campaign against it and was correct about the fact that the war would be an absolute disaster? I want to dispel the notion that journalism nowadays is extremely accurate. Because it's not really, to be honest. I mean, back in the day, the media was supposed to be the watchdogs of the government. But now they're in the pocket of the government, unfortunately. Now it's up to new media, such as internet web shows and online journalists, to do what other journalists are failing to do. A lot of people like to make fun of web series, and you've seen people on the bigger news channels on TV going, oh, this small-time talk show host. It's just like, we are the new generation. The majority of people who watch the news channels on TV still are usually in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. But everybody is flocking over to the internet because when you're on the internet, you have all these different views, and you can always fact check things on the internet. But if you're on the TV, you can't just really fact check it unless you have the internet right next to you. So the mainstream media is trying to paint Bernie as this guy who stands no chance and should drop out for the good of the party. Why should he? He can easily still win and become the Democratic nominee. He easily can. He just needs to win California to pretty much catch up. And by then, he can still win more states, and then all the superdelegates can switch then. And if that doesn't happen, for all we know, Hillary can be indicted. And even then, Bernie can lose the nomination for the Democratic Party and still run as an independent. Granted, his chances of winning are slimmer then, but at least then all his supporters can vote for him in the general election, as opposed to um, the primaries going on right now, where they're literally just closing the primaries and caucuses, and it's really just cutting off a lot of his voters who are independents, and it's really just unfortunate. So don't trust what the mainstream media says about Bernie Sanders. He can still win. And another thing, whenever they do interviews of Bernie Sanders, they'll bring up the fact that, oh, he praised Castro or something like that. Or at one point they said, oh, Bernie Sanders can't do that or something like that. Or there was something he couldn't do, which is a very specific thing, which that department of the government couldn't do whatever they were talking about. I couldn't really remember off the top of my head. I might have to apologize. But, and another thing is that they like said something like, oh, something about guns or shootings like that. They take like the smallest things and they just blow it up. But they'll never mention the fact that Hillary Clinton is corrupt, votes for wars basically out of peer pressure, has Wall Street donors and all of that stuff, and is basically huge disaster. I mean, come on, guys. Let's be realistic. If you're a true liberal, a true progressive, I mean, come on. Just, come on, guys. You know who's the real progressive candidate. Bernie Sanders has been fighting for his beliefs since 50s? I can't even remember. I remember there was all those articles about how he got arrested in the 60s for protesting segregation. And there's Hillary Clinton, who literally just flip-flops on every issue. Oh, I'm against gay marriage. I'm against gay marriage. And in 2013, I'm for gay marriage. Oh, I oppose the Iraq War, but everybody else voted for it, so I should. Oh, I'm against this. I'm for it. I'm against this. I'm for it. When she was running against Obama, she was more conservative than him on gun rights because that was the more popular belief. And now that more people are for gun control, now she's more liberal than Bernie Sanders. She doesn't care about you. She only believes things when it's the popular belief. Bernie Sanders stays consistent his entire life. So, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but it's pretty obvious. This has been Riley Flame Wookie Cookie. I'll catch you guys next time. If there's any other topics or discussions, or you have any questions politically or stuff like that, leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to cover it. And at this point I don't have, well, that many comments, so it should be pretty easy for me to cover it. I'll catch you guys next time.